guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. A great big shout out to my channel members for supporting my channel. Thank you. Alright, so in this month's edition of Crack the Vault Collab, hosted by Poet Spice, I will be doing a journaling page using some die cuts. Now, this collab is a monthly endeavor, and there's a bunch of us participating. Go ahead and check out all of the videos from the lovely people in the description box below, where we either use stuff in our stash or we crack the vault and we use things that may have been used before but are quite a bit old. And it's just a way for us to be mindful on a monthly basis on just using the stuff we have and just being creative. So go ahead and definitely check them out. A big thank you to Poet Spice for hosting this monthly collab. So I will be creating some die cuts with you just to show you. For those of you who are crafters, this will probably be boring. But I know the last time I had mentioned die cuts on my channel, since I am not a crafting channel, a few of you actually had some questions. And so this is a machine that my friend Poet had sent to me, I believe last year for my birthday. And it opens up like this, and so I'll keep that like that. It has these different plates that come with it. I will be using these two right here. As you can see, I've already kind of dented them up. That's fine. I have some die cuts. Now, a die cut is basically these metallic dies here that have a flat end and that have a ridged end. And this ridging is what actually creates the die cut. And I'll actually do just one example with you guys here just to show you how this works. And I try to do a few at a time, just because then I'm not wasting time, paper, or effort. So I'll lay that down like that. And this is all the die cuts I have. So I just organize them in here. And then I'll put a piece of paper, I think this one. And then I'll sandwich these two things. And so instead of cutting out this shape, what I'm doing is just cutting the shape out, hence the die cuts. Now, they have all sorts of machines, expensive machines, name brand machines. It doesn't really matter. This one is quite small by way of how big the piece of paper can be. They do have some that are much bigger than that. And I've been going back and forth on getting another machine, but if I'm perfectly honest, I really use washi and stickers more so in my journals than anything else. Since I don't make cards, I don't really need die cuts, but it is fun. Not gonna lie, it is quite fun. So I always pass it through 2 times, and it's as easy as that. I'll get this out of the way. And then it basically just cuts out the shapes. Now, these botanical ones are a bit fussy because they are so small. So the likelihood that I might tear this is actually pretty high, but I'll try just so I can show you. And it does also give you the relief, so you could actually use it as a stencil if you wanted. So these are the 3 die cuts. Because I use double-sided paper, I actually could use either side of it, and that works. The other 2 plates here are for embossing. I don't know if you can use die cuts for embossing. And I don't have anything labeled embossing, so I've never used those things. But let me go ahead and put these back, and then I'll actually show you what I did with some die cuts that I had done previously. Oh, and as you can see, again, I ripped in that part right there, but this could be used as a stencil, and that could be used as a stencil. So if you had similar die cuts, or if you had a bigger machine and you did all sorts of these botanical type things or whatever your shape is, you can use the relief as a stencil in your journal or your card or whatever if you wanted to use that. Although this in and of itself could also be decorative as well. So let me clear this up and I'll be right back. All right, so this is my A5 Hobonichi cousin. This system my brother gave to me recently. It's from 2003, but it's just going to be a creative journal for me. And in the daily pages, I have been doing ink pages where I'm using various inks that I have to create backgrounds, and then I just sort of collage on top of it. And talking about that, for 2024, I still need to reach out to Poet, but I will be doing a page, if not in here, then in one of my creative journals for the Crack the Vault video series, where I'm using stuff I had in my stash, using something that's at that time going to be over a year old, and then just playing. And that way I'll have a focus every single month of what I'll be doing. Because sometimes, I'm not going to lie, figuring out what I'm going to do for these Crack the Vault videos is probably the hardest part, because I'm not a everyday regular craft person or card maker. And this one was the last one that I had done, but with the die cuts, I did this. So what I had done first is I sprayed some Distress Ink spray stain. This is Antique Linen. This is the only one that I have, but I do enjoy it. And then I used some of my shimmering fountain pen ink Dragon Blood from Diamine, and I actually had just kind of splattered it on and then did another wash of this to kind of move it out. It took forever and a day to dry, but I love the look of it. I used some die cuts again that I had just shown you the process of, and then these are some Sticky Club sticker, and then this here is part of this dictionary library series that I have, and it just is a random word. It has no meaning towards this whatsoever, and to be honest, it doesn't need to. I used a gold sparkle pen to outline, and then for these that are not green, I did some glaze pen around that. And this one I actually had over here, but I didn't like the look of it, so I very carefully took it up, put it on this side. It still goes together. I think it's just a really interesting journaling page. All of these pages will be similar in that they're using ink as backgrounds, but then the composition of each one will be entirely different. And again, going for like December, I'll probably do more pages. I only actually ever work on the right hand side, and the back side of the page to me is sort of a throwaway. Although if I wanted, I could tie these two in. That's up to me. I do have more ink that I can use, although I can also use Distress ink, or I can water down some water-based like Crayola pen and then use that as well, because I've done a whole bunch of that. So going forward in these Crack the Vault videos, you're going to see this type where either I'm going to show you the finished product, or if I can do it quick enough, I will show you how I actually put something like this together. All right, guys, I'd love to know what you think. That's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.